Today I'm gonna make a mess, but not a big mess. It's gonna be a tasty mess. This is a last minute decision, but it's gonna be good. This is a boneless leg of lamb. It's a product of the USA. Generally, you will most of the time find lamb from New Zealand or here in the USA. They're both really good, and this one is you can probably see, you'll see better when I open it, but it's been pre-seasoned, and that's okay. I've had them before. They're really tasty. I do want to start out with one thing, saying that most people seem to like mint jelly with lamb, and I don't like mint jelly. I don't like mint, period. I just don't care for it. So I'm weird, okay? If you don't like mint, don't be afraid of having lamb, because it tastes really wonderful without mint. If you love mint, pile it on. Have as much as you like. It's your food. Eat it the way you like it. Let me go ahead and open this up. Drain a little bit of the excess juice off here. It's relatively lean. I'm not going to trim this fat off of it because it's very little fat, and it adds a massive amount of flavor. This one's already trimmed up pretty well. There's a little bit of silver skin here. It's not really a problem, but I'll go ahead and pull it off so you can see. Silver skin on beef or lamb is just really tough and chewy. It's impossible, or nearly impossible to eat. Otherwise, this piece of lamb is looking really, really good. So let me turn my skillet up here. You can cook this in the oven. I'm going to use a skillet, which would be, it's not really like a slow cooker because I'm going to use a high temperature. I want to sear this first at a really high heat, and then I'm going to lower the heat down to cook it at a lower temperature, around 250 or so. If you want to use a crock pot or slow cooker, I would go ahead and sear it up first in a hot skillet and then transfer it to get that really good caramelized flavor on the crust, and then go ahead and transfer it to the crock pot or slow cooker. You can do this in the oven, and it turns out really great too. One of the main reasons I'm going to do this in the skillet is because you can see it better on the counter here, and plus it is frickin' freezing cold here in Denver, Colorado. It's warmer today than it's been for a few days. It's minus 2 degrees right now. I guess where everybody is getting cold here in the USA. But anyways, this will help add a little bit of heat to my rinky-dink little condominium here. But I'm going to add a little extra seasoning to this, not much, just a little bit. This is a Montreal steak seasoning. I put it in this grinder here. You can see the particles are a little bit big, which is good, but I sometimes want them smaller. So if you've never had lamb, please try it. If you don't know how to cook it or how to season it, treat it just like you would beef. Season it like you would beef, cook it like you would beef, and then obviously eat it. See how you like it, and then once you've eaten it, then after seasoning it like beef, see how it tastes. If you want to, then make different adjustments the next time you cook lamb to get it to dial into your own personal tastes. It doesn't taste anything. It does not taste anything like beef. It has a really wonderful, unique flavor. But I found that seasoning it like beef enhances that wonderful flavor. So give it a try that way, and I think you'll like it. Here's a skillet I'm going to use. I've got it set to about 350 degrees right now. I'm going to add a little extra virgin olive oil in here. Get it to spread the oil around a little bit. And in goes the lamb. There you can see that nice crust on the top there that I'm looking for to get that caramelized, get some really good flavors developing there. I'm going to give it just a couple more minutes to brown up the backside of this a little bit. Well, it's browned up pretty well. I'm going to add about a cup of water. And cover it on up. Now I'm going to reduce the temperature down to about 300 degrees and let it cook a little bit more slowly. Well, it's only been about a half an hour and it's coming along nicely. So I'm going to start some rice now. And once again, I'm going to use my rice cooker. I'll start with 3 cups of water. If you have some chicken broth or beef broth or whatever you want to use instead of just water, you can do that. Now I could just cook the rice right in the pot, in the pan with the lamb, but I want to use that juice in the pan there to make a sauce later on at the end. So I'm going to cook the rice, and I'm going to use 2 cups of rice into the 3 cups of water. By the way, if there's any of you that are relatively new to cooking, the 2 cups of rice are a dry cup measurement, and the 3 cups of water are a wet cup measurement. They are very different. They're not the same size, so be sure you use the right measuring container. I'm going to put a little dash of this turmeric in with the rice. I like it in there. It gives it a little bit of a yellowish color, and it's said to have some good health properties. And I'm going to add a little tiny splash of this hot sauce. It's pretty serious heat-wise, so just a little bit of a drop. I'm not trying to make the rice hot. I just want a little tease of some heat. So just a couple of little drops here will go a really long way, because this stuff is pretty intense. There, doesn't take much. And I'm going to use a little splash of some balsamic vinegar in the rice as well. Just give it some different flavors for a change, you know, just to... Don't be afraid to experiment once in a while. If you like it, write it down, keep that where you won't forget it. If you don't like it, then write that down too. Say, ooh, this was bad, I don't want to have that again. I'm also going to add some, this is about a ½ pound of broccoli. You can chop it up into small little bitty pieces if you want. I don't mind the big pieces, I kind of like them actually this way. Whatever you like best, you know, big pieces, small pieces. And that's it. It'll take about maybe 30 minutes roughly for it to be ready. But once it's done, it'll hold in this pot for hours. Well, the lamb is done. It's about 140 degrees right now. It's going to probably rise up a little higher temperature. It's a little more than I wanted it, but still going to be good. The rice is also ready. See how that turmeric turns the rice that nice yellow color? Gets the broccoli a little bit yellow color too. It's all nice and tender, ready to go. I just got a small amount of water here, maybe a ½ cup or so. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour to this water. Just like that. Put a lid on it and shake it like crazy. Take a look to make sure there are no lumps in it. If there's some lumps, add some more. Be sure to use cold water. Always do this with cold water. Do not use hot. You'll have a huge clump and a bunch of smaller clumps if you use hot water. Use very cold water. When it's thoroughly mixed, add it to the pan. Be sure to scrape the bottom to get all those flavorful pieces from the lamb that are stuck to the bottom of the pan. Be sure and get those all scraped up. I'm going to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce to this also. And some pepper. Add a bit more Worcestershire. I use this for flavor and to darken the sauce up as well. You slice this lamb. Try to see if there's any grain from the meat there. If there is, slice against it. If you can't tell, just make a slice. But this is perfect for dinner, for lunch, for a lamb sandwich. Ooh, very good, very good. It's so flavorful, so tasty. Definitely give it a try. Add a little bit of that lamb gravy. But give it a try. It's really, really wonderful. If you haven't had it before, definitely try it. We'll see you next time on Cook and Gobble videos.